Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to unbox this 1:12 scale action figures featuring Heralds of HasLab Galactus box set. This includes Marvel's Fallen One and Terrax. But before we unbox this figure, let me compare this with other boxes in my collection. Here is our box set together with HasLab Galactus. I will do a separate video for the unboxing of HasLab Galactus, Mapex Superman, Mattel's WWE Elite Collection Bret the Hitman Hart. I will also do an unboxing video of this figure, Max Factory Pigma Kazumi, SH Pigwords Dragon Ball Superhero Midget Size Goku, NECA's Giant Size Elvira, and Marvel Legends Retro Spider-Man. Okay, let's start unboxing. I was hoping to see new molds for these figures, but knowing Hasbro, I'm not expecting anymore. I think this is the Fallen One's first release in figure form, while Terrax is a reissue of the Build-A-Figure that was released 10 years ago, in 2012. As you can see, Hasbro is really serious on their campaign in plastic pre-packaging. Okay, here it is. Let's start opening the first accessory. I think we only got 3 accessories. Here's the Axe of Terrax. I remember this is a 2-part piece. Then there's this blue circling bubble energy effect for Fallen One that we've seen too many times in different colors, and his alternate closed fist and a gripping hand. Why does he need a gripping hand? Now let's remove the figures. Let's go unwrap the Fallen One first. Hopefully the paint application is okay, as well as no issues within the body parts. I don't want to see both right foot or both left arm or vice versa. Yeah, this dude is all blue and he's got a screaming face. Let's check the overall paint. There's not much to see here. He's all blue. There is some white and black paint on the face, different shade of blue for the hair. I think the type of plastic and paint they used for the hair, you can illuminate it for added effect. Okay, now let's unwrap Terrax. Based on the product shots, I think this is just a direct reissue of the figure because from the waist down, everything seemed familiar. Let's check the paint application on this figure. Everything looks fine. I noticed that the skirt in the front is somewhat misaligned. The right leg seems shorter than the left leg. Oh my god. At the back, the skirt looks fine. It's aligned properly. If you look at the front, it looks ugly. Now let me show you their articulation from head to toe. With Fallen One, his head can tilt left and right. His head can look up this range. Man, his head is stiff to look up. The hair is hindering the movement. He can look down this range. It looks okay. His arm, I think it can rotate 360 degrees. Shoulder joint is working fine. There's a bicep swivel. It's working. Double jointed elbows. They didn't bother to make it pinless. There's a wrist joint and a hinge. The joints here is okay. There's articulation in the torso. Good range bending upwards, but it's exposing a huge gap. Good range bending downwards, but it's also exposing a huge gap. There's a waist joint. It works fine. There's a thigh swivel. It works fine as well. Can he do a split? Not much. Let's check the knees. They give him double jointed knee. It's working fine. They did not bother to make this pinless. His foot can almost touch his butt. There's a swivel in the shin. It's working fine. As well as the ankle joints. They are good. Overall, most of the common articulation on the Marble Legends figure you can find here. He's got a hole at the back. Now let's attach his accessories. Here he is with his blue circling bubble energy effect that we've seen too many times in different colors. And his default hands, which is a gripping hand and a closed fist. Okay, now let's go over to Terrax and let's check his articulation. Let's remove his axe first. This is exactly the same as they build a figure. Let's start. His head can tilt left and right. His head can look up this range. It's limited. This is the maximum I can push up his head. Looking down, I think it's not a problem. This is how far his head can look below. It looks okay. There's a hollow under his beard. Now let's check the arm. It can rotate 360. The shoulder joint is okay. There's a bicep swivel. The joint is working. Oh yes, it's a single jointed elbow. Of course, it's limited range. This is all he can do. They didn't bother to improve his elbow articulation. There's a wrist joint and a hinge. It's quite stiff. This one needs a hot water to loosen up a bit. I was hoping to see some improvements on this reissue, and they didn't fail to disappoint. This part is really stiff. Okay, let's move forward. Let's check the articulation of his upper body. There's a abdomen joint. I can twist it a bit, but his upper armor is a hindering movement. That's a short range when he bend downwards and when he bend upwards as well. The rotation at the waist is working great. He can do this. He can twist 360. Now the legs, there's really something wrong with the legs. It felt like the right leg looked short. If there's one thing that is great about the old ball joint at the crotch, is that the figure can definitely do the split quite easily. You see? Look at Terrax doing a split. Yeah. There's something wrong with his skirt as well. It's warped and it's kinda misaligned. Now let's take a look at that ball joint. It really looks ugly now. Despite the ugliness of the ball joint, the thigh swivel is working fine. Good thing they keep this double jointed knee. It's a bit stiff, but you can bend it. His boot can somehow reach his belt. You see? What else? There's a boot cut or shin swivel. It works fine. The ankle joint, it's working, but it's quite a bit stiff. Overall, it's the usual articulation for most Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure. There's nothing special here. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Next is let me show you his Cosmic Axe. They painted this axe really well. I could not show a comparison with the axe from the Build-A-Figure, but I could tell they did more paint detailing here. It's unfortunate that I couldn't compare it here because I sold my Build-A-Figure in 2017. I was trimming down my Marvel Legends collection back then to only X-Men and Spider-Man related figures. I had no idea that they will create more Heralds of Galactus from the comics, but I had a feeling they will reissue this figure with new molds at least. I was expecting it with hidden pins and no ugly ball joints on the crotch area. But look what we got here. I'm hesitant to recommend this, but if you want Heralds for your HasLab Galactus, it's up to you. Also, you can only get Fallen One in this 2-pack. I don't think Hasbro will reissue him later as a single figure. But who knows, maybe they will. Hasbro is known to do reissues, but they won't bother if the figure is not that popular. Okay, we're done unboxing. Thank you for your time. See you on my next video.